This is just going to be a short video. Only because I thought I'd come along and play a song, why not? And this thing doesn't like doing landscape too much. I haven't planned out anything at all. And in fact, all the things I was thinking of saying on the way home today have just gone whoosh out my head. So what I think we should all do is get our glasses together and just give one big collective cheers and say, it's good to be alive. It's even better with beer. So I don't even really know which song I'd like to play. Didn't really come here to play a song. I came here to talk about the time when I know it's going to make it sound a little bit insane, and for me it is a bit insane. It always has been. It's something that happened to me when I was a child, and the weirdest experience ever happened. I was a little bit naughty because nobody tells me what to fucking do. I'm Aussie fucking flat Earth. Jesus, for fuck's sake. But I wasn't back then. I was just an 11-year-old boy born in Bathurst, not Bethlehem, New South Wales, not Nazareth, to a Patricia Mary and a James Edward, not Mary and Joseph. I wasn't born in a stable, actually. I was born in a hospital. They did have room at the time. But I was born on the winter solstice, which was the 22nd of June. I think I've told you that once or twice before, for anyone paying attention. I might play that song or that one. But the thing is that what happened when I was about 11 years old, I used to play around the train tracks all the time, okay? So I was very familiar with the trains. Me and my cousin, who lived, there's a bird on the roof, lived in Wollongong. We'd meet up most school holidays and stuff. We'd go out and stay on the family property, but when we didn't, we'd sort of either be at my place or his place, and both places we lived at had train tracks nearby, and that's where we'd often go and play and investigate and do shit. And so we'd go and do what you do as a kid, and you put your ear down on the track so you could tell about how long it would take for the nearest train to come. So anyway, when I was about 10 or 11, this new train came into service. It was called the XPT, sort of meant express train or something. And it was this super fast train. It could reach speeds of up to like 200 kilometres an hour, a massively fast train. And so all us Aussie rural people who did what we always did, you know, you'd have your rural train crossings. You'd have a gate either side to keep the cows in. So you'd get to your first gate, you'd open it up, you'd drive through, you'd go back and shut that gate, go and open your next gate, get back into the car, drive through, shut that gate. It was the most sensible, logical way of having train crossings to keep your cattle away from the trains. But as a result of this bloody XPT train, a lot of people were actually getting dead, to put it bluntly. they'd get back into that car, knowing there was no trains around, and all of a sudden, kaboom! Yeah, mate, my ZZ Top beard shits all over yours. ZZ Top beard any day. Just kidding. Why should I take Jesus out of the title? I am telling the story of how I became him. Offend people? How can I offend people? They've been praying for me to come back for 2,000 years. Crikeys, mate. Jesus. So, I worked out a deal with this person called Ross Thatcher, because he weren't particularly keen on living in his body, but he's got this really good body, very fucking handsome and well hung and all that sort of shit. And I thought, well, I've got to come back somewhere sooner or later, don't I? And so when I seen him standing out in the middle of the train tracks on this particular day with his bike in his hands, I'm thinking, hey, Dad, check this out. He's going to be wiped out here. He ain't got a chance. He's gone. It's all over. How about we just, do a little Mandela effect on the world? And Dad goes, yeah, I don't see why not. He's fucking cactus. Look at him. He didn't listen to his parents. His parents told him specifically that day, be very wary of the trains. And so there I was, standing there with my bike on my hands. Yeah, I've got split personality, of course. Just went into daydreaming. Who needs a serviette to eat? There I was daydreaming, listening to the crickets, cicadas, middle of the day, and all of a sudden, whoosh, fucking train comes in behind me and my bike. I nearly said us, but train comes rushing in behind me. I'm going, what the fuck? How does that happen? That doesn't happen because I was standing in the middle of the tracks with my push bike when I went into daydream mode. And that's how we found this loophole in the time-space continuum, where I sort of get to exist inside me. So, I know, it is, it's played with my head ever since. I've often thought it's like one of these Mandela effect type of things where the real me might have actually died in a different time-space continuum, but in this time-space continuum I'm still the real me, but with extra. Yeah, a walk-in would be a good explanation for it, to be honest. I don't mind saying it now that I'm older and better, that when I was about 8 years old, I finally found peace of mind when I learnt how to tie a noose, because I thought, good, I didn't like being alive that much. I found it a bit unhappy. But as soon as I knew I had a way out, any time I wanted, I can just go and neck myself off a tree or something, and it became tolerable. I'm living in Clunes, near Byron Bay, easternmost point of Australia, and I got through life. I managed, I tolerated, and I got to a point when I was about 26 years old. I had my daughter sitting next to me. It was the day before my birthday, which is, of course, the winter solstice, because, what else would I be born on? And a weird experience came over to me. I'd been fasting and doing various other things to try and reach enlightenment. That was basically what my goal was at the time, is find enlightenment and see what it's like. And all of a sudden, this strange feeling came over me, sensation. It's like, something's happening. Something big is happening here. And I got up and I walked down the hallway and I pulled a book out of the bookshelf. It's called A Thief in the Night. I shit you not. On what happened is I went back and sat down next to my daughter. She was only 2 years old. And I opened it up to a random page, as you do. And the bold words stood out. And it said, Christ returns. That's exactly what it said. And then when I read a little bit around it, it says, what would be the biggest headline that any newspaper could make that would be bigger than the death of, say, Princess Diana or something, even though I don't think that had occurred at the time. But, they're just trying to find out what would be the biggest headline, asking journalists that they could come up with, and the one that won was Christ Returns. And as soon as I read Christ Returns, all of a sudden I had an out-of-body experience, and I went out of my body for like an unknown amount of time. It was just timeless. There's no way to explain it. I just knew it was gone for a very long time, but then I sort of came back almost instantly, knowing, holy shit, I've been away for a very long time. And I looked at my daughter, she's still sitting there. She didn't even talk at this time. She was barely even 2 years old. And I just looked down at the book again, and it still said Christ Returns. And every emotion went through me. I wear glasses now. And all the birds outside, they all started just like laughing and chirping and singing and carrying on. It's like every living thing was celebrating the fact that, I don't like to speak shit or be a big name about myself, but I had Christ consciousness, and my first reaction was, I wear glasses now, do I? And now I'm this person called Ross. So take it how you will. Believe me, it hasn't been easy. It's been a challenge, but I am what I am. And I actually don't think Jesus was called Jesus anyway. He was probably called Yeshua or something back in the day. And there will be people who will tell you that he was dark-skinned with brown eyes. Well, I have a book, I didn't bring it with me this time, called The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ. And there's a part in it where somebody looking for him says, me say something objectionable. I object. No, mate. It says, I'm looking for this boy with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. And that is sort of what stood Jesus apart from the crowd, because he was considered weird looking because he had blonde hair and blue eyes. And so yeah, I got blonde hair and blue eyes. So I'm here to make a difference. This pretty much is what we're all here for, is to make heaven on earth. And I have a lot of plans. So I know that the one or two people who are looking at the moment, two of you, Tinfoil Hatter, you're a legend. I don't know how you always catch me, but there you are. It's good we have the internet, bloody oath, because this is how we share the truth. This is how we see through the lies, because the news was always spread by word of mouth, people on horseback, the media, the press, all run by, I hate to use that term, but the truth is what it is, hook-nosed fucking, if I say that word I might get booted off. let's just say they wear a lot of jewellery. So anyway, he who runs the press controls the news, controls our minds. But today we have the internet, and the truth is what will set us free, not a load of fucking bollocks that's been handed down and spread around as gossip. The truth will set us free. And so I hope Sunday morning I'm going to be on the Non Sequitur show, and I'll be there arguing against this person called Fight the Flat Earth, otherwise known as Crag, the fucking Scottish wanker, who speaks a million miles an hour but still only spurts out bullshit. And I'm looking forward to having a civil discussion with him. I went to his channel, offered him the hand of friendship, and he goes, "A flirt? Like I'd want to be a friend with a flirt." And he says, "I hope you brought the lube because I'm going to fuck you." I was like, okay then. That's how he wants to play it. I play fair with everybody. If I get beaten fair and square, I'll take it fair and square. But you don't get to bend me over and do what you think you're going to do just because you believe we live on a spinning ball in outer space. I'm in the UK, Tin is in the USA, and you're in Aussie land. We could make a triangle. Well, the thing with triangles is it doesn't work on the flat Earth because our view of the sun is unique to each and every one of us. Your view of the sun means as it's setting over the water, brings the light to your feet. But if I look at it from another place, I don't see the light coming to your feet. And so if we're thousands and thousands of miles away from each other, the sun we're all seeing, being the same sun, it's not going to appear to be in the same place to each one of us. So triangulating it just isn't going to give us any sort of beneficial, helpful knowledge that we can use to try and say, well, this is what reality is. This is how far the sun is. I think some of these things are supposed to remain unknown. I think our view of the sun that we see personally is caused by the height of the atmosphere. The sun doesn't even appear until it reaches a certain level of the gases. And so that's how it appears to one of us. But it could still be thousands of miles further away. So people might see it on another part of the plane where it shouldn't necessarily be visible on a flat Earth if we were just going by the same rules that the globe Earth has been playing by and saying that this is how simple it is. It's not simple. Everything is actually far more complicated. And, I think one of the commandments even said that well, not to make graven images or make false images. And any sort of image we make of this beautifully created realm is going to be false. It might be true to us from an artist's perspective, but it's not going to be the true image because, we're not the ones up there looking down and seeing how it really is. We're just seeing it from down here. And we know for a fact that perspective makes everything appear to rise to eye level if it's below our feet, and it appears to sink down to eye level if it's above our eyes when you're looking at a far enough distance. And to try and make a model out of reality like that basically says, well, you're not just insane, but you're almost practically sinning because you're making a false image, which we're told not to do. Just appreciate the fact that we don't have to know everything in order to be good people and in order to make heaven on earth as it's meant to be. So, with that said, I just want to sing a song I have to tune my guitar because it's been in the sun for a couple of days. And then I'm gonna probably go and do something else. I've already got it next to me. I haven't tuned it. If you got any questions, now's the time. Good, no questions. Thank you. I think we should be working towards growing food and aquaponics, hydroponics, growing fish, growing trees. And I'll tell you what, I reckon once upon a time we all lived in giant trees, and we practically literally lived amongst the stars, which is why we now have a moon, because the moon was made by the giants who destroyed them all to try and tell you, yeah, get that in here, you midget bloody bastards. We've cut down all your trees. We're going to put you inside this big dome so you can't escape it, or at least put a big giant ice wall around us. And I've heard of Michigan. I think it's over in the US somewhere, isn't it? And yeah, they put this moon up there to remind us that once upon a time we were up as high as the moon was, and the sun never set. It was always daytime. But now that we're stuck down on the ruins of what was once paradise, they put that moon up there to mock us. We are literally being mocked 24/7. Fallen, smashed, fallen. That's it. That's the word. We've all fallen. We've come down. But that gives us a purpose, a reason for being, and that is to rebuild it again, to start growing the trees, to get back up there where we belong, up in the stars, where the sun never sets. And who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. We keep our dignity. That's it. Amen. So they may mock us, but we can hold our heads high, and we can sing songs. Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You say I took the name in vain. I don't even know the name, but if I did, well really, what's it to you? right in every word. It doesn't matter which you've heard, the holy or the broken. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I've told the truth, I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Amen. I'm flat earth Aussie fucking Jesus. Get that in ya. Thank you so much, Tinfoil Hatter. Love you, brother. All is good. I'm back in charge. And I'm here to bring heaven to earth. What else can I do? That's what I was born for. Take care. Keep it flat. I only know songs where I've got the chords and music written out. But it works. Cheers, mate. We'll have to catch up one of these days. And don't forget, what is it again? Non sequitur show. Sunday morning, 10 a.m. I think that's US time, probably about 10 p.m. Saturday night, more or less, give or take. Who would know? But yeah, I'll have to do it on the laptop because I've run out of space here on this phone. But at least I can go live. That's the main thing. Never did. Always live. Anyway, time to take the dog for a walk, I think, and go and have a look at the stars. Go and have a look at the Southern Cross. It's just outside the window there. Well, it will be in a moment. Once it gets dark, you can't see it when the sun's still illuminating the atmosphere. Take it easy. See ya.